Once again, it's on. Oh, here we are again, ladies and gentlemen. I am the man on the street.
Pharaoh King.
The mad professor living in the boot.
Poor boy from the boot.
Yeah, and this is two cigars in a blunt. Hey, hope y'all had a great
Working
week.
on that blunt.
Working on that blunt. Hope y'all had a good week. I know I have. How about y'all week, fellas?
Ah, man,
Uh,
I'm glad it's over. 5 days
yeah.
of hell.
Yeah.
Well, mine wasn't hell, but
Pretty damn good.
I've been out of communication with everybody. I've been having some technical difficulties, which is upsetting to say the least.
Yeah. Well, my week started off rough. Y'all know the Eagles lost and motherfuckers blown up my
Got that
goddamn.
ass club.
No, I was about
Yeah.
to say a loss
Yeah.
is 5 points.
We said that man got a shellacking.
Oh my goodness, man. Y'all just
Be
my
like he stole something.
oh man, my damn timeline was blowing up, man. I had to turn my phone off. All I hear is ping 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 ping, like I was in a pinball machine. People calling
Mhm.
me, they ain't called me in a while. Hey, I know who you are. Hey, Cowboys fans, y'all asked for some come in, the man on the street. Oh, all I hear is, why you ain't going live? Oh, you ain't going live tonight? Hell no, because I don't feel like talking to y'all mother effers. So
Well, you know how front runners the Cowboy fans are, so
yeah,
you
yeah,
got to
yeah,
expect that.
yeah. You got
Well,
to
somebody
expect
got a
that.
tattoo. For sure, somebody got a new tattoo this
Yeah,
week.
Oh, you
somebody got
better
to.
you
Yeah,
better believe it.
yeah, somebody got one. Somebody got one. But we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with a good conversation. So hope you're ready for this. We started this conversation last week on Ashed Out, and we're gonna start it again because my man Paul Boy from the boot, he had a question that he wanted to ask, and he had to ask it just like this.
Let me ask you a question. Have your kids ever asked you something that you have still yet to answer because you don't really know what to tell them? Let me tell you the story. I'm watching a movie with my two boys. Not sure what the movie was, but two characters go to kiss. Both of them, ew. I look, I say, y'all act like y'all don't want to kiss no girls when y'all get older. Both of them start snickering. Here go my oldest. Daddy, have you ever kissed a girl? I'm like, son, I've kissed your mom. I've kissed quite a few women in my time. And he was like, cool. But he was like, where? So I said, I kissed him on the cheeks, the forehead, the lips, the neck. He was like, no, daddy, where? So I said, okay, man, in the house, outside, in the car, just different places in life. He was like, no, daddy, where? Have you kissed him below the waist? And here go my younger son. Yeah, daddy, have you? I'm like, okay, hold on, man. We don't need to have this discussion right now. When you get a bit older, I explain things to you. Here's my youngest son again. Yeah, he did it. Goddamn kids, all in my business. I don't know how I feel about telling them stuff like that, you dig? About me, at least. It happens. But so, what should I do? Should I tell you, what do I need to do? They gonna find out anyway. They probably already know hell. It's 2023, damn near 24. They know how it go. Goddamn kids.
Hey,
That shit is
it's still
funnier
funny. It's still
every
funny.
time I hear it.
I'm telling you. But my question to the panel is, and of course, Major, I'm gonna let you go first. I'm your poor boyfriend, boo. I'm gonna let you go first. I know, like you said, 2023, and everybody is basically the information at the tip of their goddamn finger. So, did you did you figure out how you're gonna have that conversation with them, or you just gonna wing it? Poor boy from the boot.
I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna tell them as much as I think they need to know at that age. Without being too graphic in adult form. So, uh, I don't know how it's a tough one. I don't.
Mm.
It's too early in life for these conversations. What would y'all got to say? Hell, y'all had older kids and had to go through this. Help me out.
Hey, go ahead, Professor, man. Tell your story. I want to hear this.
Honest, honestly, I just told 'em the conversations I had with my kids, the ones I did have with, because I saved the conversation with my daughter for my wife. But with my sons, I was just honest with them. I just told them, hey, look, this is how it goes. This is, you shouldn't do this before you're ready. Don't let nobody press you into doing it unless it's a fine teacher. Don't take it for granted,
No.
because if somebody giving it to you, if somebody wants you to have sex with them, that means they might think you're important, or they may just want to use you for something. But be careful with who you do it with, because whoever you're doing it with, you're messing with whoever they did it with, and you're messing with whoever that person did it with. You got to be careful on who you're gonna have sex with, because it's a big decision. I'm not gonna talk you out of it. I just want you to be careful about it. But see, the sad thing is, I went through the same thing that po' boy went through with my daughter. She went to school telling her teacher that when me and her mother go for our naps, we making noise in there. And my wife going, I'm like, well, okay then. Because one day we said we going to lay down and take a nap. She asked, are y'all actually going to sleep? We like, oh shit.
See, that's too much.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's funny. That's why in media, honestly, I never shielded my kids from sex, because it's already out there. And I'd rather them get it from me than the streets.
True, true,
Yeah.
true, true.
No,
I,
my kids are grown and they were never afraid to talk to me or their mother about sex. We've always told them that if you want to know the question to something, ask it. You don't go
Right.
out and create an answer for it. And we've always been that way. We've been open with them. So we've never had a problem with uh, them doing the right thing or the wrong thing, because before they did anything, they would talk to us. Even at a young age, it's like 10 and 11. Even at
Right.
that age, you got kids experimenting now.
mm-hmm.
Mm, I
I,
would say lucky.
I understand what y'all. I understand where everybody's coming from, but we'll talk about today's kids. We could all say, yeah, this is how. But now, like I said earlier in the conversation, it's at the tip of the tip of their fingers, so
Yeah.
they could just go.
Somebody's fingers.
Hey,
And that's what I'm
listen,
trying to say. So
I got a quick fix.
the conversation that okay, I got you, Pharaoh. The conversation that you're
Yeah.
trying to have, how do you have that conversation? And then let's say if you don't have that conversation, like I say, they can just get on their laptop, their cell phone, or whatever,
Mhm.
and just go find that information out for themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, but you have to, when your kids ask you something like that, that's when you know that your relationship is about to change. Because then it becomes something that you may be uncomfortable or not ready to talk about. But when your kids ask you that, you don't want to sugarcoat it. You don't want to, exaggerate it. You want to tell them the truth and let them know that this is something that you do as an adult or you do when you're responsible. You don't do this at 11, 12, 13 years old. You teach them responsibilities behind it, because my mom, she would embarrass you. She would say, don't come home with something you ain't leave with. And we like, what? Going to the drugstore? She said, I'm not talking about just babies. I'm talking about diseases too. So we were like,
I'm
well,
glad you
she
said
sat
that
down and talked to
because
us about it.
Mm.
I'm glad you said that. That's exactly what I led off with. We in the medical field, so we have our little
Mhm.
briefings that we give with the STDs. Remember that briefing from what's that? What is
Oh,
that?
training class.
It was training class, but it was the preventive medicine. The field sanitation class.
No.
So I had those slides, and that's how I introduced
See, they
sex
don't know about
education
that
to
in the
the kid.
field units.
I gave them those slides and I showed them everything you can get from having sex that you can't get rid of. That was my sex education class to
Mhm.
the kids.
I'm
So
telling
so
you, my
based
mom, she would show pictures, just like Pharaoh was saying. She pretty much tried to fear us into not having sex,
That's
as
right.
But
opposed
see,
to, being funny about it at the same time. And that's just the way my mom was.
that's kind of the issue, though, is like we're saying, is if anything anybody want to learn from sex is at the tip of their fingertips. So
yes,
you have to
Mm.
talk to them about overcoming the
The fear of talking
misinformation
about it.
about sex, and the misinformation about sex and the exploitative nature of sex, before it actually happens to them, and before that infiltrates their mind, because a lot of issues that people nowadays have with sex is because sex is just out there. Everything,
Oh yeah.
damn near any commercial you see deals with sex, or if trying to find sex, or how to get over the
Mm-hmm.
consequences of sex. So you kind of have to get them when they're at the age where they're most impressionable, before they're even ready to
Right.
have, before you think they're ready to have sex. Your kids are probably already know a lot about it. So you have to, nowadays you almost have to get them much earlier than say all of us got the talk, because it's already out there. I mean, I remember sneaking dirty magazines in and out of my house, and that was the only way you can get sex. You can get to know about sex, either that or a
Mm-hmm.
video. Now
Oh,
you
those
can
sticky
find a damn
pages.
video. Yeah, you can find a video online now.
Yeah, them sticky pages, man. We all know about them sticky pages.
We had to actually go try and have sex to learn about sex.
Exactly.
Oh
So,
man.
Ah,
so
the
for
good
poor
old
boy,
days.
yeah, for poor boy, I'm gonna say since he got those questions about, yeah, daddy, you did it. Um, them kids at school already know what's going on. They getting some
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
information from the school,
Yeah.
and most of these parents are not blocking their kids' phone. They don't know, they don't put any parental blocks on their phones. They just out there just doing whatever.
Yeah.
So
Well, when you think about it, a lot of parents nowadays say, "I'm never going to do that to my kid because of what my
they ain't
parent did to
parents.
me."
Tam dog, they ain't
Yeah,
parents.
but
They're friends now.
yeah, but the thing that gets me is, so what? Didn't it keep you out of the streets? Didn't it keep you from getting pregnant? Didn't it keep you from, learning bad habits, talking back to your parents, and then living out there by yourself and depending on your friends who you know aren't your friends?
Yeah, but that kind of stuff is out there now. See, when we were younger, it was rare to see that,
Yes.
because
Hmm.
and it
Yeah.
wasn't as readily accessible. Like
Yes.
my
See.
wife gets mad at me when we're watching TV or something, or a movie, and there's a smart aleck kid, and then I want to jump through the screen and beat the living piss out of him, because that drives me crazy, because that kind of
Yep.
disrespect that kids show now is part of the thing with kids knowing about sex earlier, because just because it's out there doesn't make it right. And
Right.
it, like I said, it drives me absolutely bat crap crazy, because it is difficult to shield your kids from it. Like when we gave our daughter her first cell phone when she was 14, I was going to put parental locks on the phone, but it didn't make sense, because it's on hers doesn't mean that it's on somebody else's.
That's
And
correct.
she's gonna, and
Oh,
I, like I
absolutely.
said, I don't want her to learn it the wrong way. We didn't want her to learn about sex the wrong way. And especially now
Mhm.
that there's this big push to get sex education taken out of schools, which is where most of us learned a lot of it,
That's
it
just
becomes foolishness now.
it's a
Oh,
lot of
you
people
know, you
who want to ban it are the ones out there doing it wrong,
Exactly.
and and
Exactly.
and they want to shield their kids away from their misguidance or misupbringing.
I mean,
So why should the kids suffer?
look at what's going on with the Moms for Liberty crap in Florida with those
Oh,
people, with that woman being caught up in a tryst, in a three-way,
hmm
her and her
But
husband, and
yet she
she's
want to
supposed to be
ban
the
books
moral
about
compass.
sexuality.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be the moral compass. It's ridiculous. Like I said, it's just gotten to the point where it's hard to have an earnest talk about sex, because you think you going and telling them something, and they like, oh, I've already seen that. I mean,
Hmm.
so
and,
what you
and it's like
saying,
I was
Matt?
saying, like we said to poor boy last week when we watched the video, and like Farrah just said, them boys saw that from somewhere.
Yeah. But what's sad is, so Alexis had an incident when she was in high school. They're now cracking down on lewd pictures being sent from phone to phone, and if they get caught, they can get expelled or even some jail time, even in high school. So
Too
it's
late for
very
that.
pertinent that we let them know that you can't be showing any type of body part and
Hmm.
sending it out, because they will expel you and put you in jail,
Okay.
or at least some type of traditional type of punishment.
And then they take the discipline out of the parents' hands and put it into the law, which it shouldn't be. Because most of those
Oh,
kids
oh, they're doing
who
it. They're
get
doing
caught
it.
up in stuff like that, mm,
Yeah, they're doing it. That's a fact.
So let
unless
me
it's one of their kids, and then they're going to try and sweep it under the rug or make it out of a
Hmm.
scandal, just like in Florida, which you was talking about, mad scientists.
so let me ask you this then. Do you think being a young parent like major, much younger than me, but having younger kids today is harder to raise than when we was growing up? because like the professor said, that it's readily available at their fingertips. You know, so is it harder to be a parent today because everything is so accessible
Accessible.
than it
Yeah.
was when we was growing up?
I
Hell
wouldn't
yeah.
say that it's
I would say
harder. I just say that you have to stay with the time. You can't get caught. You can't. You have to know what's going on. You have to know what apps are popular. You have to know these things because if you don't, them kids will. So you have to you have to you just need to be informed because they
go through
gonna
their
get it.
phone.
And
I
huh?
guess
Go
I guess
go through their phone, man.
I
Yeah,
guess
but
the,
like you said, you can't stop what somebody else on
Right.
when their
Right.
friends is doing at school or when they're hanging out. You can't control that at that point.
No,
So
I'm just saying.
No,
it's
but
more
that when it
about what
happens,
you
you just say,
have.
"Hey, mom or dad, they doing this. This is not me. I just want you to be aware
Well,
of it."
and well,
There's
that's the
nothing
thing.
hard with that.
The kids
You
ain't
got to
gonna
tell.
do that.
It's like I
Mm.
said a couple weeks ago. It might have been last week, maybe. Your kids have to be comfortable enough to come to you with anything.
Right.
Right.
And like if they see something that they think is inappropriate or something that confuses them, they need to come. They need to be able to come to you and talk to you about what they saw and how they feel about it. Because if you don't, like I said, their friends will tell them what they should feel about it. So it's not that it's harder to raise a kid nowadays in one sense. It's just that there are more dangers that are more accessible to
Hmm.
kids nowadays than it was when we were all younger.
You just gotta be diligent.
Yeah.
Don't be
Yeah.
that deadbeat parent that's just allowing the society to raise your child. Get
Right.
involved with them, make them, like you said, comfortable to come talk to you, and you should be okay.
I guess the point that I was trying to make is, and y'all correct me, I'm wrong. I think being a parent in this time and age is much harder than it was when we was growing up, and that's why I asked, do you think that it's harder
No,
than
we
when it?
said no.
No, but I say it is. I'm saying it is because
Right, right.
because it's so accessible. Everything is right now. Just like I remember when the Atlanta murders, the kids were being killed. Can't go
Hmm.
outside because you might get taken. But now they get that information like this. I mean, boom. Soon as it happened, boom. But with us, it took like two weeks to a month for us to get that information, and that's why I think that it's much harder now to raise young girls and boys in society that we're living in.
But you're
That
able to
that
track the children now.
yeah, but
You're able to track it. You have the phone to track the kids. Yeah, they might be getting. If say they're getting into something, at least you know where they're at. You can track them. You can run them down. Not look for them all over the place like they did us when we was in during that time.
Yeah,
You had to check in every hour and an hour, or you had to be in before the street lights, or whatever the case may be. Like my daughter's at she's 20 years old, but she's at the movie right now. But we have a tracking system. Guess what? If something happened to her, I know where to go pick her up without having to go search for her. You see what I'm saying? So tracking the kids, I think knowing that you can come pop up anytime will keep them a little just honest too.
I mean, the hardest
Yeah.
thing about raising a kid, and fortunately, my wife and I only had to, our youngest is 18. So the hardest thing about raising kids nowadays, like I said, is making sure the information that they're getting is filtered
Um,
and making sure you're that filter.
And
Because,
make sure that it's true.
yeah, and that's what I mean. Because you don't want, like I said, you don't want your, like, say, your po' boys' sons, you don't want their more promiscuous friends to teach them what you don't want them to know. And if they do, if their friends do teach them that, you want to be able to have them come to you and say, okay, this is how it really is, not how your friends are telling you. This is how it really is. Because, like I said, the worst thing people can have is too much information. I think getting too much information is worse than having too little information. And especially if that information is not what you would call mm, real or true.
Okay. All right, I got
now
you.
what you saying about the promiscuous friends, that almost makes you more having to talk to them sooner before they even get
But that,
around those type of
well,
Yeah.
friends.
that's what I said
Yeah.
earlier.
But at least so
Friends
they can
like
have
you.
kind of understanding.
That's what I said earlier. You have to talk like back in the day. We were learning about sex once we reached puberty, 13, 14,
Mhm.
15. Nowadays,
Oh,
you
that was
almost got to
old.
talk to them before they're
Maybe
10.
you
I
were.
was younger than I was saying I was younger than that. son.
Okay.
No, I said
Not
get
to say that
talked
I
to.
was doing anything,
I
but
said
yeah,
get talked to about sex, not actually experiencing anything.
Yeah.
my mom raised 4 boys, so
Swagger,
you
swagger,
know
swagger.
she had to be tough on us as far as going out there and being promiscuous.
But honestly,
And
when I was that age, sex wasn't that important to me. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was
Yeah.
thinking about everything but sex. I was trying to have more fun than sex because to me, when I was younger, sex was always the end of fun.
Yeah.
nah,
I got you.
that's the
All right.
beginning of fun.
Hey,
No,
I agree with
well,
you on
y'all
that,
didn't
brother.
grow up together. I can tell you
I,
that.
I,
Yeah,
kind of cold blooded there, Timbo.
I had my first kid out of high school. Fun was
All
done.
right.
Yeah, boy.
Let's keep this conversation going.
Uh,
Last week after we had our conversation, my wife had her event. Thanks for everybody that came out to support her event. It was a great event, and had some people came at me. They didn't like what we had to say. They didn't like what
Oh
we had to say
snap!
about what we talked about last week. So, fellas, I just got this video, and y'all tell me if y'all agree with what this lady says right here.
Real men will leave you. They're not going to argue with you. They're not going to beg with you. They're not going to plead with you. You will get a warning at best. And if it's no changed behavior, they're out.
We about to start some shit now.
Damn.
I thought we were supposed to have a guest come confront us.
Yeah, boy, she just like straight to the point.
Okay, I want to hear. I want to hear from Pharaoh King first on this one. Pharaoh.
Oh Lord, hey, don't make me the enemy on this, man. Come on now.
Do you agree with what the young lady said?
So I would say yes. I would say yes. I didn't put with much. Not saying that I was all that, but I'm not a drama person. I don't like drama. I like easy. I like easy life. I like to have a good time. I'm about my business, as old boy said. I'm about my business, but I'm not putting up with no drama, man. If you're going to be a drama queen or whatever, or even as a friend, like a male friend, you want to have a problem, I'm gone. You can have that shit. I'm not trying to live in having to worry about, if something's going to happen between us or something going to happen to you. I don't like that. I don't like
What
stress.
they said, where he said,
Undue stress.
man.
That's not me. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Well, you
might
guys-
love you, but I'm definitely gonna let you go like a bird. I'm gonna let you be free.
Poor boy from the boot. Before you forget, what you think about what this young lady said?
What's the question?
Drama. I'm not dealing. I've never really dealt with much drama. Like you said, I'm out. Just that easy. And that's all. Dang, I'm not. Yeah, she's right.
She's 1,000%.
There's certain levels of drama that you're gonna put up with because. No offense, ladies, but most of y'all come with your own sets of dramas. It's just going to depend upon how far and how much it's going to involve you, how much you're going to deal with. Sorry, ladies.
Okay, Mad Professor, go ahead. What you got to say about it?
Well, I'm gonna agree with her to a point, but here's the thing: a man will only put up with as much drama as his options will allow him to. If he living with her, and that's her place, he gonna put up with as much shit as he can, or as much shit as he has to, until he can get on his own damn feet.
Why
And
in
then
the
you
house
gonna-
anyway?
Exactly. Because the worst thing for a man putting up with a woman gotta do is when he come home and his damn PlayStation on the lawn with all his clothes.
He
Because
better have
that's
a
her
bus
place.
Not
He driving around in her car doing stupid shit, and then he don't want to put up with drama. No, bruh. You dealing with drama. You got to deal with the bullshit that you say you don't want to put
I
up
guess
with.
that's how you avoid drama is by having your own shit.
Exactly.
Because then you know,
Exactly.
I gotta
And
do
I mean,
this.
the same thing goes for women. She'll
Yeah.
only put up with as much as she has to until she can get herself where she needs to be.
And then after that, you on your own.
Facts.
Go ahead,
But
Tim.
there's
Dog.
some people that stay
Okay, but-
in in that rut. And I say
Now,
that because I hear it at work, and it's just like some people are glutton for drama. That's the only way they can survive. And I promise you, they be like, Mr. King, what do you think? I said, listen, I don't deal with those problems, so I cannot give you an answer. Anytime you come with a question, I'm not gonna deal with it. So I don't know how to tell you. I just don't deal with life like
So
yeah.
I don't agree with what she said. A real man, especially if you with somebody for a while, you was staking there to try to work it out. And she said a real man. That's not a real man because if you leave as soon as something happens, then you didn't want to be there in the first place. And
that. That's
that's
not what I
and
said.
that's how I looked at what she was saying. So, what is a real man?
Mm-mm.
See,
My pushback is
Okay,
is okay. Say we have a year. We're together a year. We're in a relationship
okay,
for a whole year.
okay,
But you have constant drama or constant issues with whatever the issues are, because we can talk about millions of issues. But if you're not comfortable, like we said about that, with the one with the old woman wanted to get mad at old dude because he didn't argue back with her when she said she was ready to go. That guy was looking for a way out, as far as I'm concerned. He was looking for a way. He just didn't know what to say. But when she said that, that was weight lifted off his shoulders. He was like, whew, thank God. I'm glad you said it before me. You know what I mean? I see it like that. And it's not so much about being a real man. You just, how real are you to sit there and put up with somebody who probably is abusive to you? I'm not going to put up with that. I don't care how real of a man I'm supposed to be. I'm not putting up with an abusive woman, verbally or physically. And especially if she steals my money. You are definitely fucking gone.
somebody's speaking from personal
experience.
experience.
Yeah,
Oh man, he said especially if you steal my money.
yeah, you went left
So
with that one.
no, but if you said a real man leaving, do you have to be a real man to sit there and put up with that? I don't believe you should.
No.
And
No,
vice versa, a woman. A
I
woman should
guess
not have
I,
to put
I
up with
no
a
what
man
I
who's
no
stealing
what
from
I
her.
no what
That's
I said
abuse.
was she said a real man would try to work it out. A real man won't take the first chance that he get to get out. That's where I look at it, and that's what I'm saying. She's saying he would give you one warning and then he out. If you give him one warning, that doesn't make sense. That means that you didn't want to be in a relationship in the first place
That
because
just goes to show what kind of men she
No,
deal with
no,
too.
no, and no, that's what I'm trying to say. So, but if you
Yeah.
if you if you if you're in a relationship, if you're trying to build a relationships, there's gonna be a lot of stumbles along the way. There's gonna be a lot of stumbles. But what she's saying is that a real man, he gives you one warning. Oh, one warning, then he's out. Then
And
he,
that
and that's what I'm trying to say.
and that's
So
kind of my initial point is that a man is on it's like Chris Rock said in one of his specials years ago.
mm,
A man is only as faithful as his options. And a man will only put up with so much as his options will allow him to.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm saying. You don't have to be a real man. You don't have to be a man, a mama's boy kind of man. But if your options won't allow you to leave, your ass is gonna stay there, whether you sleeping on the couch or not. You ain't going nowhere. Because
and
sometimes a real man don't have the option to leave.
and on top of that, I don't think, like I said, we could take
You
her
ain't no
message
real
any
man
type
if
of
you
way.
ain't got no option to leave.
No, you
Depending
can be a real
upon
man, but
what
situations won't
woman.
allow you to leave.
Yeah.
Like we have kids.
I
You have
don't know.
children, kind of keeps you around longer than you want to be sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying in a situation
it's
that we're
what it
talking
is.
about. Or you have a house. I give you a scenario. A person wants to leave, but you share a home. In certain states, if you want to split the bill, split the house, you either have to buy that other person out and still pay for what's left on the house, or you both sell the house and you just split the money. That's a tough decision for some people.
Especially if they don't have a place to
Well,
go.
it depends upon how bad you want out, goddamn it.
Right. So with that said, can we,
Like how
again,
much?
we say a real
Yeah,
man
charge that.
I just think
I'll write you a check.
her message is a little misconstrued on one time, we're gonna get rid of you. I don't believe we're like that. but it's going to take a multitude of things to happen
Mhm.
for you to make
You
that
never
decision.
know.
Because before a real man leave, he's gonna if he really cares about it, he's gonna try to talk.
Yes.
He'll try to have that conversation and say, look, this ain't working, and this is why this is not working. So I mean, just leaving is not what's up. I'm sorry.
Right.
Okay. I understand, but I thought that was I was like, that's crazy the way that she put it. And then then what does a real woman do?
Well,
Do a
maybe she's
real
talking to a certain type of woman.
Mm.
She could be talking to a certain type of woman. The reason
Passive
why she said
aggressive,
it
it
that
seems
way.
like to me.
Because I
Someone
don't
who
think
just
she's speaking for all women. I think she's speaking to a specific group of women.
Yeah.
okay. All right. I'm trying to figure out what group is that.
passive
You ain't got to
aggressive.
figure it out. I don't even know why you
The
said
ones
that.
that's
You
listening
ain't get
to
to
her.
figure it
Hell.
out.
The ones that ain't got no man right now.
No,
There
the
you
one that
go.
says, the one
There
that
you
says,
go.
I'm at the end. I think it's time for us to go the separate way and then get mad when a man don't fight. That's who she's talking to.
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that part though. I understand where you coming from, no doubt. Okay.
It does
Yes,
not
it
make
does.
any sense.
All right, then, hey, let's keep it moving. Tell me what y'all think about this.
Children, the ones that I did not create, they're allowed to do what you do. They sleep all day. They don't come out of the room. They don't do what
Wait
they
a
need to
minute,
do.
hold up. I want you to come over here. I want you to watch this. Let me show you something. Go sit over there. I have a little concern because your sons are not demonstrating that they are learning to be the kind of man I know you want them to be. They're going to demonstrate the kind of man you teach them to be. And I'm not really sure what to do about that. Can you hear me? That's how you do that. The woman has to talk to her man to get him to move the way she needs him to move. You're not going to get nothing with that.
Oh, that's great.
Do y'all agree with that? Let's start with the professor first. Professor.
Yeah.
The worst thing in the world is to have your spouse, your significant other, your partner, constantly nagging to you about anything, even if it deserves to be nagged at. Nagging gets you nowhere because I know when I'm getting nagged at, I put the wall up immediately. Even when I'm dead wrong, I put the wall up. We're adults. You got to come better than that. I'm sorry.
That defense
I
mechanism.
agree.
Po boy from the boot.
Man, it's not what you say, but how you say it.
Right.
Like you can tell anybody anything, but it's all about the way you say it to them. And like she showed, her approach was horrible. But a lot of people aren't taught those kind of communication skills because in most of America's homes, they are come from broken homes. So people are learning on the job. So if they don't get those skills, what she's teaching them skills. So it's not what you say, but how you say it. Simple as that.
What you got to say about it, Tim Doll?
No, I'm absolutely right. And sometimes it's not how you say it, but the right timing. Sometimes saying something even nice or pleasant when you're in the heat of the moment isn't the right time because your emotions are still high. You would have to know the person that you're speaking with. Of course, you have to know how they are, how they feel about certain things, how they get upset. But I always tell my wife, you can't pick and choose everything to argue about or get mad about because then that just looks at you as a complainer, a nagger. You get mad about this, you get mad about that, but when someone approaches you about it, it's okay. No, you can't do that. There's always a compromise in any relationship. And some people just don't know how to do it.
What you got there, Pharaoh?
to agree with everybody. Everybody said pretty much what I would say. So.
Mhm.
I guess when I first watched it, man, and I agree with y'all. The way that she came off, I mean, she said that your two kids, that one that didn't come from me. I was like, God damn.
They see what you do. They sleep all day.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I'm like,
whoa.
I'm like, God damn, you gonna hit the man like that? Because
Hey,
I
hey.
because I
he,
was under
he
the
had nothing to
belief that
say.
yeah, I was under the belief that once y'all become one, once y'all got married, y'all one.
Kids are
Your kids are my
kids.
kids.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that the way she came off was kind of. I was like, God damn.
You
But
know, I'm
She was hot.
I'm
yeah,
You
glad
can
you
tell
said
she
that
hot.
because I was about to
yeah,
come back with that one.
yeah.
Because when she said that, it triggered me too.
And why did it trigger you, Professor?
Well, because I've seen that where one of my friends now got a divorce because of the way his wife was treating his son compared to the way she was treating her child,
Mm.
and it led to big issues with the two of them, and I mean big enough to where they're not married anymore, and they hadn't been married long,
Hmm,
All
but
right.
it becomes an issue like you were saying when the way they would go at each other about their kid.
hmm.
I'm not
Well,
gonna say the stuff that happened, but it was some messed up stuff.
And
Well, I
then
would.
your kids see it too, and
Yeah,
they tend to pick sides or choose which parent they're going to side with, and
especially
they
if
play
one
against them.
parent allows their natural kid to do stuff to the other kid that they wouldn't allow to go in
Hmm.
in the opposite direction.
right.
That compromise again.
Yeah, and I thought Ayanna handled it pretty well. I know she get paid to talk that way, but the way that she broke it down to, and as you can see at the end of the video, she saw what she was doing wrong, and she wiped the tear from her eyes, and how she was hurting the guy, or vice versa. It could have been a man saying the same
Hmm.
thing to a woman, and hopefully she would
Hmm.
step in because like we all say, there's certain ways to say things, and I really agree with what she say. You don't want to be that woman that's nagging the yin yang 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 because most men after that first yin yin we done blocked you out.
Right,
Shit,
So,
mo.
right.
Hey,
so,
don't act like they
so
ain't got
now,
men that nag. Hell,
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
no.
oh yeah, yeah,
Shit,
yeah,
Ain't
nagging
gotta
yeah,
is
be
now we're gonna
long
nagging.
go back.
either.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Now we're
yeah,
gonna go back
yeah.
to the woman that said a real man will give you one warning, and you gone because you get
Oh yeah,
tired
there's naggers
of
everywhere.
it.
Yeah.
Damn
That's
naggers.
it. Keep nagging you. You out of
Damn nagger. Naggers.
A
it.
bunch of
Oh man, what
A
nagger
bunch of
spells
naggers.
backwards? I don't know.
Nagger. That's
Oh
my
my
nagger.
God! Now,
oh
you see how
god.
that all fit together?
Yeah,
Yeah, I got you.
see, that's a conspiracy right there. I'm telling you.
All
So
right.
that's
Well,
where it really came from.
I know. We talking about we talk about this conversation a lot, and I know y'all probably tired of me talking about it, but we were talking about fathers being in the home to help their wives, or if they do get
Mm.
divorced, that father still needs to be in those kids' life. Let me know
Oh
what
yeah.
y'all think about what this young lady said on this right here.
Uh-oh.
Not.
Okay.
And it's interesting because I have three sons now. So William will be 26. I have a 16-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Okay.
Big eight. They all were the only children. They have that syndrome, right? But his father was not, because I'm gonna be honest, I asked for William.
Okay.
And so when we had William, he said, I don't know how to be a father. And I said, don't worry about it. I got this. And when you're ready, you can come back. Me and his mom had an amazing relationship. She was present. She, if I needed anything. But I'm like, at that time, I didn't hold him. I just said, you don't have to be there. I got this.
Okay.
And I held on to it. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But me and William, we were okay.
So I guess my question is, was it okay for her to tell the man, "Hey, go do you. You don't have to be there. I got this." Oh, somebody phone ring. What's that a good? I see you shaking your head, Pharaoh. I'm gonna go to you first.
I, I kind of, I'm shaking my head because why would you accept having a child with somebody who did not really want one and then tell you he's not going to be a good father?
I
Well,
didn't think
that's
ho-
my
ho- I mean,
question.
now
I never
I
heard
don't
of a
think that
woman actually
that
say
she
that.
said that he didn't want one.
yeah,
She said that he
he don't know
said
how to be a
he don't know how
father.
to be a father.
So to
Right.
me, that's I don't want a kid.
No,
No,
no. I
because
mean, you could
but you
want a
didn't say
kid
if he
but
had
not
any
know how to
before.
have
Like
one,
he didn't say
and
he
you
didn't have any.
learn.
Oh, you know how to have one.
I mean,
No, I'm saying
But
you
go,
know
go,
how
go.
to raise
Hey,
one. You
hey,
know
look,
what
I
I'm
want
saying.
hey Tim Dog, let me hear what Pharaoh got to say. Go ahead, Pharaoh. I want to hear what he got
no.
to say.
So
Go ahead.
I'm just curious. Like, did he have kids before? Because if he didn't know how to be a father, or she said that the mother and her had a good relationship. So did he have a father? In his life. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't like there's other things that need to go into just what she's talking about. I'm just taking she didn't want a kid, and she said, "Don't worry about it. I want you, so it's okay. We had this kid together. I take care of the kid, even though you don't want to be there or you don't know how to be a good father. I'm gonna show you, or so I'll teach you. Maybe I don't know.
No,
I would. I don't know.
Go ahead, Tim Dog.
no,
Yeah, I don't know.
no. In a way, I see what he's saying, but my perception of him not knowing how to be a father doesn't tell me that he doesn't want to be a father. It just tells me that, he's being honest. Hey, my dad wasn't there. I don't have a father figure, so I don't know how to be one. And she's saying, don't worry about it. I got you. We do this together. And then she said at the end, they were fine together. They had a good relationship. And to me, that right there shows that she's willing to sacrifice some things to have a child with someone that she really cares about.
Mm. Professor, what you got to say?
But what if the
Oh,
father
go ahead. Go
father
ahead.
was there? I'm sorry. What if the father was there, but he
Yeah.
wasn't a dad? But he wasn't a dad. You see what I'm saying? And he still didn't give him any type of.
Well, we don't know the conclusion of it
That's my
because
point.
they
That's my
didn't
point.
finish. So, but him being, to me, being honest about it, like, hey, I don't know how to be a dad, but I would like to learn. And me, for her to say that shows her maturity and shows how, not saying a real woman should handle it, but someone with somewhat intelligence and caring about the child more so than
Okay.
themselves. That's how they would handle it.
Mm.
And she's not thinking about, him doing something wrong to her child. No, she was just helping him along to
Thinking
be a
that.
cat. And I'm sure as time went on, they learned together.
Mm. What do you got to say about it,
Mm-hmm.
Professor?
Honestly, this kind of confuses me because she some of her phrasing was kind of contradictory
Mm-hmm.
in what she was saying, and that's why I'm kind of confused because like y'all said, at one point she said, okay, we're gonna have a kid, and I accept that you may not know how to be the father that you want to be, and on the other hand, I'm not going to accept the fact that you don't know how to be the father that you want to be.
Right.
And like she's confusing me because to me it seems like she's forcing parenthood on someone who's not ready for it or who doesn't think that they're ready for it, and that's that's failure wrapped up in a box right there.
I absolutely agree 1,000% with that.
What you got to say about it,
Yeah.
po' boy?
Matter of fact, I'm gonna drink to that. Thank you.
This,
You would have drank
this
to
is
anything.
this is the world we live in, where a woman will accept being a single mother. She clearly is that knows that's what she's getting into. And for her not to even have expectations from this man to even try to be a father is ridiculous. She don't even expect him to be one. Like, fuck it, if you're there, you're there. You're not, you're not. I'm
Well,
gonna do what I gotta
she's
do. Pretty
not
much.
saying
See, that's my problem. That's my
that.
problem.
He's like,
Everything
when,
she's
when
saying,
when when he's ready, he can come back. So you accepting? Nah. If you made this baby, you need to stand up from day one
Yeah,
and be there. Be
I'm
a
sure.
man. Don't. She
exactly.
gave him an
Everything
out.
she's saying makes no
What
sense.
man is not gonna take it out if a woman say, "I'm gonna take care of the baby. You ain't gotta do nothing." What man ain't gonna say? Psh.
Pew!
Hey,
But
No,
if a
I'm
that's
woman
talking
why.
say,
about what
That's why
woman.
she probably
What
chose him
woman would
because she
say
knows
that?
what type of man he is.
I
Yeah,
because
need
he's
to
if,
know.
not gonna
if
take advantage of her.
I need to know what woman's gonna
okay,
say.
Tim, I
I
don't
need
know
to
where
see
you
what
live
woman
I'm
in.
would
just
say.
saying. I'm looking at a different side. You look at your perspective. I'll look
Yeah,
at mine.
I just
All
think
right, so
she's
I
she
naive.
is what she is.
I
Yeah.
guess
Okay.
I guess I'm gonna be the only one that looked at this differently. because from what I heard, she said was, yeah, they had a great relationship, but when the guy told her, you know, um, I can handle this, basically go off, find, basically be the person I want you to be. I don't want you to be that person if you're gonna be here and you're sorry. But if you could go out and become the man that I assume that you can be to this child, then come back, then everything else would be, much better. And until then, I could hold it down. Now I can understand what people when y'all are saying is that
That's
you have the child.
stupid.
But I'm just saying
Oh, excuse me.
that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as, hey, I don't know how to be a father. Okay, you need to go out, get yourself together,
You
and when it's
Yeah.
time for you to come back, hey, until then, I got it. That's the way I looked at it. So
Like
okay?
coming to
So
America. Show your
okay,
royal
let me
oats.
ask you. Let me put it to you like this: you a baby, you don't know how to walk, so you just gonna lay there and wait until you learn how to walk, or are you gonna
Oh,
start practicing, trying to figure out how to walk? You I'm just gonna wait till I start walking.
No, I got one.
no, 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 no,
You
no.
know
You
that
got to
that
you got to
Let me no
try.
no let me
You got to learn.
let me answer.
oh my
Learn.
There's not
goodness.
there she did not say that he was going. The guy could have been coming around and learning as he goes along. It's not like he was just gone for forever, but he could have been coming around learning
There
how to
was
be a father. But until you become the actual man that I want you to be, I can hold us
Stay
down.
your ass away.
so what if
I'm
he
with
don't
it. That's
figure
what
it
I'm
out
saying.
till he like
He said it
75?
on
He's like,
stage
oh, I
too. He
figured
said
it out now. I'm ready,
My
babe.
see, that's what I was about to say. When at what point does she get tired of waiting?
No
Yeah.
expectations.
Right.
$75.
At what
Come
point does
on.
she go, you know what? I can't wait on this Negro any longer.
And
Hey,
I'm
And
pretty sure she said
she
something
said
I
like,
he
gotta find
well,
somebody who's gonna help who not help me, but I'm gonna find somebody who I think is gonna be the man that's good enough to be around my kids.
the thing that gets
And
me is she said that he's 26. Then she has a 14-year-old and
no,
a
16.
4-year-old.
a
16 and
16,
four.
a 14, and a 4.
No,
No,
she had a
16,
26.
16 and
26, I'm
4.
sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say 26, 14, and 6. Something like that,
16.
right?
16. It was 10 years and then another 14 years or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
12
so
years.
so she
So
wasn't waiting on him
how
to
many
do anything.
opportunities did she give to other baby daddies to leave?
Hey, she didn't talk about them. Maybe they were deadbeats.
Well,
The
maybe
first one was
that
a
was her
deadbeat.
expectation of them.
No, first one, the
But
deadbeat,
you
he
see
just
what
didn't
she
know how to be a
picking? She know how
dad.
to pick a damn deadbeat. She know how to pick a deadbeat. Man. She is skilled at
That's what
She
I'm
good at
saying.
that, huh?
That's what I'm saying. Did
So
she
let me
give
ask you
everybody
this.
else that? Did she give everybody else that ultimatum? And they said, "All right,
So
She's
so
just a breeding house.
all four of us are agreeing that that is very confusing on what she was expecting a person who obviously had no ambitions to accomplish to be a
No,
father.
see, what he, I guess my perspective on her saying, "Hey, go do what you want to do," is different. I mean, to me, it sounds like she's saying, "Hey, if you want this kid, we can do it together. So you go ahead and you know, we do this together, but don't worry about being a dad. Don't worry about trying to, be something that you're not until you are."
Okay,
Okay.
I
'Cause
got
then
one
to
question
me,
for
that's
all
just
of us.
saying,
Tim,
go
Tim,
out there and
Tim,
meet somebody else too.
I got one question
So
for all of
Tim.
us.
Hold on. Let me say something real quick. Nobody's a dad until they become one.
right,
Nobody. Until you
right."
become a dad, you're not a dad. So that's a bullshit
and
ass excuse to say some shit like that.
Thank you.
Nobody until you have your first kid, you become a dad.
nope, nope.
No.
You can
Oh,
be
I guess
you
you
can
talking
be
about
a
when you had that
dad before
puppy.
you don't have any kids. You can have step kids, and then all of a sudden you raising them as your own.
But still,
It's still
No, but
responsibility to
still,
have a kid.
until you
you
have
don't
kids,
have to
you're not
have
a dad.
you don't
But if
have
they're
to
not
have them to
yours,
be
you really
one.
have no responsibility to them.
There
Step
you
kids.
go. Right. And so
If you're
when
a
you love
if you're a
them
step kid,
extra like that, that's
they're
even
not really
special.
your responsibility. You're accepting the responsibility of them, but
Right.
they're not really your responsibility because guess what? If you leave tomorrow, you're no longer stepdad. You're no longer
Where's the
stepmom. you're gone.
But if you're going to sit there and accept the child, why would you also leave the child knowing that the child is attached
But
to you at the same time?
that's my point in what she was saying.
Mhm.
It makes no sense in how she was phrasing that. Come back when you're ready.
Well,
No, if you're gonna have a kid, you
you
got to be ready.
you don't know what kind of relationship they
I
have.
don't
That's
give a
what I'm
damn.
saying.
So I
Then
have
she's
one
choosing the
question.
wrong dude. She's
So I
choosing the
have
wrong
one
people.
question for
Hey,
all five of
then
us.
that's her preference.
One question
That's
for
on
all
her.
five of us. Would we be with the woman now that had that type of attitude? Would they accept us? The
No,
woman we're with now,
not at
would
all.
they accept us to what she's accepting from that man?
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
That's all I gotta ask. Because there's no woman I know on this damn planet other than that joker that we just saw expects or even given that scenario.
No,
Now,
there's some women out there, and you know
especially a
that.
black woman. That shit ain't happening.
There's some out there though.
No
You know
smart
that.
women
Who,
is
who
gonna deal
Tim,
with
I get
something
it.
like
common
that.
sense? Come on now, you know a lot of people who don't have common sense.
Shit, they got
Come
men
on
that
now.
leave
But they
the
ain't
I
women
don't
got
care
men
want
what
with
you
to.
say.
kids. They ain't got common sense because them motherfuckers just dumb as fuck. We talking about someone with a child. None of that shit even makes
I-
sense. I'm with the
I-
professor
You
and the
ain't dumb
big
as
boy.
fuck.
None of that shit makes sense.
I
And here we go.
yeah.
The
Oh
pushback. Come
man.
on.
I thought no, because I understand where y'all coming from. Like I say, we'll agree to disagree, and but there's nothing
Mhm.
wrong with that. That's why
Oh,
we got to have this type of dialogue, because understand where y'all coming from, but like
and difference of opinion just
yeah, that's
makes
right,
you more
yeah,
aware of what's
that's
going
right, and
on in
I just
somebody
look at
else's world.
I just looked at it differently, but it,
Mm.
I could be wrong or I could be right, so
We don't know where her head
yeah,
at. We just
exactly,
basing.
exactly.
I wish I would have
But
met somebody like that in my past. Shit.
all right, but this
Wow.
next
Wow.
Would you say you
this,
have a football team out there by now?
this,
Wow.
Drop
this,
one
It's the
every
statistic.
9 months, putting a new one
Offense
in that
and
thing.
defense.
But this next topic, I want us to talk about. I didn't put a video together, but hopefully y'all was watching the news.
No,
Y'all heard about the 10-year-old boy down in Mississippi.
Yes. No. No.
The
You gotta
10
The
year
one
old
that,
boy, 10-year-old boy was with his mom. His mom was at the lawyer. They didn't have a public restroom inside the
yeah, I read that this
inside the
morning.
lawyer's office. The 10-year-old got out the car. You're a kid. Grown
Gotta
men
go
still
pee.
do it. Got to
Mhm.
go to go to the restroom. Shielded himself behind the door, urinated. The police saw him. They
Oh
arrested him.
yes.
They arrested him, and he just found out they gave him what 3 months probation, and he
Yeah.
had to write a
Are
paragraph,
you
a
serious?
two page book report on Kobe Bryant. So my question is, a young black man at 10, are they indoctrinating him for what's going to come down the road because they could have just given him a warning, but for
No,
them
they
to
do
go
that to
through,
embarrass and humiliate them. That's all that is.
but to take them through the
Mississippi.
process, yes, just to take them through the process of being arrested, of being in the backseat of a car, of them taking the charges, because it's up to
They
the
wouldn't do that to a
prosecutor.
white kid.
Tim, let me finish, man. God damn.
I'm just mad. I don't like
I
the
got you. I
story.
got you. But yeah, but you can get your. I'm gonna let you get your 5 minutes off. But what I'm saying is, are they indoctrinated? Because it could have been the prosecutor saying, "No, we're not going to prosecute this case," but they took it forward, and he got 3 months of probation, and he has to write that book report. Since Tim want to go Tim. Now, what you got to say? The floor is yours.
I mean, to me, what they call like hidden racism, blatant racism, you wouldn't do that to a 10-year-old white kid because they don't do that here in Texas when white kids go around threatening black kids or making racist statements. But yet you're going to humiliate a 12-year-old because of the way his hair is, but you're
Tim.
not going to
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm just saying, you don't see that. You don't see white kids being humiliated like that, for being racist or insensitive to someone else's needs. But yet you're going to sit there and arrest a 10-year-old for going to the bathroom for what? Why? What the only reason I see them doing that is public humiliation, hidden racism, because they wouldn't do it to a white kid. You showed me a news article right now where a white kid got arrested and charged for pissing out in the street. You won't see it.
Yeah.
Professor.
Well, here's what pisses me off about that is, like Tim said, you know it wouldn't happen to any other kids but our own. And what it is they're starting that prison to public school to prison pipeline early. It's just like they arrested a black kid a while ago, or acted like they was arresting one for cutting school, and they had him in the back of the squad car crying, telling him they was taking him to jail just to scare him. It's pathetic. I remember when I was in school, there was a cop called Officer Friendly that every big city had,
Mhm.
that would try to help kids understand that police have a job and it's a difficult job, but they're not out to get you. They don't have that program anymore because they don't give a damn. They want black kids to fear the police. They want us to fear authority. And them arresting a 10-year-old for pissing in public and then dragging it through the legal system to give him probation. What the hell is that? They barely gave probation to that white college student that raped the girl behind the dumpster and got caught doing it. They barely gave probation to the white kid that got drunk and killed 5 people. They hardly did anything to him. But a black kid pissing behind a car or behind a door is gonna get probation? 10 years old? Really? It's pathetic.
And then write to add insult and injury, write a book report on a black athlete.
Right.
Come on now.
I
What
need
you
You
got to
trying
say
to
about it,
tell
Farrell?
me that's not? Mm-mm.
What you got
need
to
to
say
know
about it,
what's the
Farrell?
book report on Kobe Bryant has to do with anything.
Well, because Kobe Bryant is his
Nothing.
no, Kobe Bryant is his favorite player. So I guess the judge gave him this.
Okay.
The judge gave him the
Insult to
option.
injury.
What you want to write up? Who's your favorite basketball player? And he said Kobe Bryant is his favorite player. Okay, write a book report on Kobe Bryant. That's where the Kobe Bryant came in at. But go ahead,
Okay.
Farrell.
No, I mean, look, what state we talking about? Mississippi.
Mississippi.
This is the one that just recently had a woman looking for her son for the past 7 months, and they had buried him in
Papa
a
Yep.
Spring.
prison's
This is
you
also the
graveyard.
same state where the whole
So, you know
sheriff
what I mean?
department got relieved of duty because of racism tactics that they were doing.
Yeah. So I mean, no, it shouldn't have been done. But look at the state we're talking about. The last state that ratified 13th Amendment. So I mean, come on.
What you got to say about it, po boy?
Okay. I watched this video the other day. It's hilarious. I'm gonna set the scene. It's a courtroom, and there's this preppy white girl. She's being charged.
I saw it. I
So
saw
her
it.
parents is acting all crazy, and the judge is like, "I'm gonna charge you as a black man."
Yeah.
And then the parents are all outraged. Everybody like, "Oh no, no, no!" So they cut to the front of the courthouse. The parents are on the mic, and it was like, "This is unfair. What is going on? Nobody should be treated like a black man." And that just goes to show you. There you go.
Yeah. At the end
Welcome
of the
to
day,
America.
See,
I guess.
and and
Go ahead.
and
Go ahead,
going
Professor.
and going back, bringing it back to Mississippi. Look at what happened in Jackson, Mississippi, with the water system. Jackson, Mississippi, is 95% black, with a black mayor, with the police force that's 90% white, and they're keeping it that way. They won't hire black people as cops in Jackson, Mississippi, and that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem with that whole state. It's why you have an athlete like Brett Favre robbing the food stamp
yeah.
system of $5 million to build a damn stadium, and this dude's still walking around free and never been charged with anything, and they're trying to not charge him.
And that was only covered like for maybe a couple of days.
I guess the reason why I brought it up because I know we talked about this before, and the professor made a great point. I think they're indoctrinating these young kids at an early age, that pipeline, like you say, from public school to prison, and that's the way I look at it because the prosecutors could say, no, hey, we get $10 fine or whatever. They could have just fined the mother, but to humiliate, just like $10 to humiliate this boy, put him in the back of a car, get him arrested, and go through the legal system, that traumatized this kid probably for the rest of his life. It's just to me, it's just an unjust system on how they treat a young black kid compared to how they would treat one of their own.
And I'm gonna tell you the problem I really have with it is, and I'm sorry to cut you off,
No,
man,
go
on the
ahead.
street,
Go ahead.
is when I read the article, they didn't speak of when he's done with probation, will it be expunged from his record? So that shit's always gonna be there.
No, they say he won't have a record.
Okay.
Yeah, right. They say he won't have a record.
Okay, that would have made me go to
Well, they
Mississippi and
better go
talk.
Yeah,
check.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but you have
Exactly.
to
On it.
file for
Because
an
Exactly.
expulsion. You
because
have to
because
file for it and pay for it.
they
It
they,
ain't
they
given automatically. Mm-mm.
because the lawyer that she had asked the mother, "Do you want to appeal?" She said no. She just wanted it to be over, and that's why there's not going to be an appeal. She just wanted it to be over so that they can move on. But what's going to stop it from happening
Happening
again?
again.
and and,
Exactly.
and, and and that's what it boils down to.
You got
That's
to
just
move out
like
of
the
Mississippi.
that's just like the I think the kid in Texas with his hair, like Tim Dog brought up earlier.
Yeah.
He got back in school for him to get suspended again
Hmm.
because
For the
because of
same
coma.
thing.
Yeah, for the same thing. I just don't understand that.
It's
What the
crazy.
I understand you got rules and regulations in place, but why is such a big concern when it comes down to you to I'm gonna say to a black person trying to represent themselves in a certain way. I didn't
Because
I didn't see a problem when the punk rocket kids had the spike hair. That wasn't natural hair.
because they can't control us with Jim Crow and slavery anymore, so they try to control the way they can, and they try to make it lawful. So, oh, our hair is a problem. Okay, you got to change your hair. Oh, wait a minute, black man,
But
you
see,
shouldn't be able to express yourself the way our Constitution say you can express yourself. So you've
but
got to
but
change that.
the thing that gets me is with the hair situation is the state changed the law and the
Yes,
school district
yes,
still
yeah,
went on with it. So what does that tell you right there?
Mhm.
I'm sorry. When it comes to mess like this, it really bothers me, especially with black kids. We were never given a chance growing up. And I remember growing up and going to a mixed school, but a lot of us black kids we were privileged to go to the school because of our grades and things like that. So I was lucky and privileged to get into music and to see the schools in my neighborhood where I didn't go to school, to see what they go through compared to what I went through. I'm like, this is not fair. I had a chance to get private lessons from a private institute because I was good, but not everyone had that chance. And growing up, I saw that disparity, and I tried so hard to, make it different. And it's real personal to me because growing up and going to these places, I was discriminated against because I was black.
That's right.
I was discriminated against because I was good, and I didn't understand it until I got older. So for anyone to sit back and purposely try to hurt a kid in his dreams or whatever, that's just wrong. A 10-year-old? Come on, man. Somebody did that to your 10-year-old, you would be up there outraged. Why y'all want to? It's always a double standard, and I'm sorry. My
yeah.
I'm
apologies.
telling you,
No, you
a
good.
lot of these people know that we don't have the money to be able to have the lawyers to represent us the way that we do or can be represented, and that's why they take advantage of the system.
Yeah.
All right. And on that
Because I
note,
promise you,
hey man, good conversation, fellas. Man, we didn't get a lot of people commenting, but hey, I enjoyed the conversation. I don't know about y'all,
Mm,
and
yeah,
these are the type of conversations that you got to have, though. Like we started off with Po Boy. That's the conversation that you got to have, especially with these kids today, because they're learning way faster than we did. God damn. Oh goodness. And then we ended on that note with about the 10-year old. Well, like I totally agree with everybody on this panel. That's just something that should not happen. The cop should have had some type of empathy for that 10-year old. And for the cop to say that you arrested, he should be ashamed of himself. Because what if, just like y'all said on the panel, what if that was your kid? You want somebody to have
mm, mm,
empathy. You want them to have empathy, and hopefully and that could have changed the child life. Hey, now he might go down the path of being whatever. I'm not saying that he would be, but
mm,
you never know. That might just set him on
hmm
that path. You know what I'm saying?
or
So
set
We
them on
got
a
our first
path to
comment.
be a
yeah,
prosecutor to get rid of all these corrupt cops,
that
be a
and, and,
district attorney somewhere.
and that is true. But
that's what
before
we
we
hope
go,
happens.
We got our first comment, man. Shout out to the comment section.
okay,
The
okay,
Smoker
okay.
Lounge. Shout out
The
to
spoken
the
line.
crew.
Who's Denise Whedon?
Oh, that's the Denise.
Mm,
Oh, that's the
Uh
one that was
oh.
talking all that trash last week.
mm.
Denise. Oh, Denise.
Where she at now? In the comments. Where she at in the comments?
Denise, send me your email address so I could go ahead and send you this invite. Oh, we was waiting for you all night.
Ashed out. She going on ashed out.
Yeah, come on, Ashed out. Send me your email address so we can get you on our after show because I told the fellas you was talking a lot of goddamn ish last week, saying that you wanted to get on and you got some shit you want to get off your chest. You said you're going to check the professor. You said you're going to uppercut pole boy from. You say you're going to uppercut pole boy from the boot. You say you're going to power drive, goddamn. You say you're going to power drive, goddamn, Pharaoh King, and for goddamn.
What I do?
And goddamn it, Tim Dolph B. Moore, you say you gonna slap the taste out of his mouth. Goddamn.
He can't even taste that
I can't wait.
No. What you need to do, Denise, send me your email address. Just go ahead and send it to me right now, and I will. All I need is your email address, and I'll send you the invite, and you be part of our after show. Make sure you got your camera on, so you got to have your phone on or whatever, so people can see you, because we want to hear what the hell, all the shit you talked last week. I want to hear.
She's talking about some Kim adding me. Kim ain't got nothing to do with this show.
All right.
Yeah, we'll give her as much time she needs to herself to
that's
talk
right.
She has to talk.
And that's what we're going to do. So fellas, before we go.
There you go.
Oh, I got you. Oh, I'll make sure I add you. Okay. Right. So before we go, Pharaoh, what you got for the people?
All right, a little motivation, guys. So this is a little saying from Ice-T. He said, "Life is like a gym. If you look over to the right, there will be a person in better shape than you are. But if you look to the left, there's someone who wants to be in the position that you're in. They would die to be in the position you're in. So just think about it. Just be happy where you're at. And if you can do better, do better. But at least you're not the person on the right, on the left that's trying to be where you're at now."
I got that. Professor, what you got for the people?
All right, I don't know who said this, but they say the pen is mightier than the sword, but I think the pen isn't mightier than the sword. Pens don't win battles, and swords don't write poetry. Mighty is the hand that knows when to pick the pen and when to pick the sword.
Okay.
There it is.
That boy dropping nuggets like he working at McDonald's. Boy.
Picking them up like corn chips.
I read that in one of those Little Caesar books. You know what I'm saying?
Tim Dolph or be more careful. What you got for the people?
Hey, I got a quote from the late great Rudyard Kipling. If you think you lose, you've lost. But out in the world, you'll find success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. When you think of people messing with you and you know that you're right, don't worry about them. Keep it to yourself. You know you're right. So let them be the ignorant ones and try to prove you wrong.
Okay. I got you. Uh-oh. Po boyfriend, you got your shit together today because you've been slacking the last couple of weeks.
Well, that's gonna continue. I'm gonna keep that hot streak going.
Keep the streak going. Like the San Antonio Spurs.
Po boy from the boot. What you got for the people?
Hey, drink water, eat your fruits and vegetables.
Wow.
Stretch.
Nutritional fact.
Hey, I just want y'all to know, I called him earlier to make sure he had something for this evening. He's still there.
Oh my God, I'm gonna be crying.
Oh man.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I got y'all next week, I promise.
Ladies and gentlemen, we try to leave y'all with a little bit, even though we have a good conversation, but we try to drop a little bit of knowledge on you, to make you think a little bit longer. But make sure you tune in right after this. It's our after show, Ashed Out. Oh, we're going to have Miss Whedon. Oh, she's coming on. Denise Whedon is coming on.
Please come on, Miss Denise.
I like
please.
that name.
She's
coming
Oh, wow.
she's coming on to set these men straight. Oh, I just can't wait. I can't wait.
Shout out to my Eisenhower OR SPD crew.
Oh, you work in the hospital?
Yeah. And with
them trying to get that hookup.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, hey, 2 cigars in the blunt, and we're out. Hey, be sure you tune into our after show, all assed out.